Hi, I'm Bonnie Flint, and I'm running for the Utah House seat in District 17, which is in my hometown area of South Layton, Olive Fruit Heights, where I currently live, and most of Kaysville, east of I-15. And I'm doing this series of video blogs every day from now until the election to get you to know me, because I need your vote. And every day I'll come here and ask you for that vote. And today I want to talk to you about an issue that's important to me, and that is an issue of rape. And yes, it's a pretty big topic to just dive right into on day two. But you know, that's one of the great things about doing a video blog in my home office by myself, is because I don't have any producers or editors or airbrushers sitting here telling me what I should and shouldn't talk about, how I should look or what I should be doing. And that's why I'm doing this video blog in the format I'm doing it, because I don't want any more airbrushed, edited politicians. I just think we need people who will be honest and really reflect who they are in office when they're representing us. And so I'm just going to dive right in today and talk about rape. And of course, it is in the news because of the comments of Representative Aiken, who is now running for the U.S. Senate, and his comments have been well reported, as they should have been, that rape, when it is legitimate, not sure what that meant, will not cause pregnancy because the woman's body has some sort of way of shutting down. And of course, that is the most ridiculous comment I think anyone has ever heard. And when I posted a link on my Facebook to this statement recently by the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology, one of my best friends and neighbors wrote her comment back and like, yeah, you can't cure stupid. And I thought that was an appropriate comment, and one most women I know are thinking right about now. And most women I know would love to have a person in the legislature who represents their voices. And in the state of Utah currently, we have a representation of 16% of women, which is pretty ironic when we are dealing with so many issues that affect women so dearly. And as the Chinese proverb says, we women hold up half the sky. And speaking of half the sky, about a year ago, I read a book by Nicholas Kristof and his wife Cheryl Wu Dunn. They're a husband and wife team that go around the world championing the rights of women and protecting women and getting the word out about the sorts of issues women face just because they had the misfortune of being born woman. And I say that very carefully because I have great fortune in being a woman. I see many advantages to it, but it doesn't take much in reading the book or looking around the world to realize that there are some distinct disadvantages in our society to being a woman. And in our society, 99% of all perpetrators of rape are men, and 91% of the victims are women. So you can bet I am very concerned about rape because of my own vulnerability, that of my daughter, my amazing nieces, whom I have tons of and love deeply, my colleagues, my future granddaughter, my sisters, and my sisters-in-law. And I know women who have been raped. I know them dearly and love them. And I gotta tell that man that rape doesn't have to be forcible or whatever he's calling it in order to cause deep, deep scars and pain, because the victim of rape that I hold the most dear to me in my heart was a victim of rape for many years, and it was never forcible. And it was by a man she should have been able to trust completely. Rape damages. Rape is horrible. And we in the United States and in the world live in a rape culture. And what do I mean by a rape culture? I mean a culture in which we tolerate rape. And if you don't think we tolerate rape in our society, just think about the toleration of rape that happened, that let grown-ups sacrifice the lives and psyche and well-beings of little boys to the gods of their college football programs. we absolutely have a society that tolerates rape. Well, as I was telling you, I recently read the book Half the Sky. And it is very different to know in your head, to have heard about, to be aware of the things that women have to survive every day, like rape, being sold as sexual slaves, genital mutilation, and in fact, death because they did nothing wrong but be born a woman. And that book, if you ever want to have an eye-opening experience, read that book. But it is very difficult to read, and it took me a long time to read it just because I would have to set it down after certain chapters and digest what I had heard, because knowing something in an abstract way is so different than having it shown to you when you then know it in your soul and you know that you can't go on in life unless you're willing to do something about it. So that's what that book, Half the Sky, meant to me. And I think it's a must read for any politician, for any concerned citizen, and absolutely for Rep. Aiken. Hope he goes ahead and buys that book. But today I'm going to read to you actually from another author whom I love very much. And this is my daughter Brittany, and it comes from her master's thesis. And she graduated in May from the University of Utah with a degree in public administration. And her thesis about rape is specifically geared to lawmakers and what they need to know as lawmakers about our rape culture and about how our society affects rape. And Rep. Aiken, let me send you a copy of this thesis. I think it could do you some good. I'm going to read just a little bit, so excuse me while I look down a bit as I read. According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, RAINN, every 2 minutes someone in the United States is sexually assaulted. Every 2 minutes. And remember, 91% of all those will be women. This results in an average of 207,754 victims ages 12 or older of rape or sexual assault each year. Additionally, 44% of the victims are under age 18, and 80% are under the age of 30. These percentages translate into 1 out of 6, or 17.7 million American women having been, quote, the victim of an attempted or completed rape in her lifetime. So men and women, look around you. 1 in 6 of the women, girls, some children that you know will be raped or have rape attempted on her in her lifetime. That's not okay with me. In Utah, guess what? It's even worse. In Utah, the average sexual assault is approximately 10% higher than the national average. And in Utah, 1 in 3 women is reported to have been sexually assaulted in her lifetime. In church recently, I was able to work with a teenage youth group for 3 years in which I had 25 to 30 amazing, beautiful, talented gifts from God that I got to work with. So I look at those 30 or so girls, and I look at this statistic about their lives in Utah, and 10 of those 30 are going to be sexually assaulted. Some probably have already been in their lifetime. That's from Brittany Moffat, The Economics of American Sex Crimes, What Public Policy Makers Need to Know. And I'm certain that we need elected officials who are aware of essential information like my daughter has, like it is readily available out there if you're willing to look and learn about, because we women who are half the sky matter. And issues that are important to women are especially important to me because they affect me and the women I love. And I will represent women and men and be a protector and a champion of those who are most vulnerable in our society. And I suggest that we all learn a little bit more about rape and how we treat the victims of it, and we start to pay more attention to the victims of rape and care for them than we do for the perpetrators. And I would love to have your support in November because I need to get to the legislature and start to make a difference. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Thanks.